Stephen A. Smith is in some hot water. The people are really upset at him right now because...
What'd he do now?
He made some comments about Jasmine Crockett and the way she expresses herself. Let's take a listen to Stephen A.'s original comments on Jasmine Crockett expressing herself.
You Jasmine Crockett or somebody like that. Ladies, I respect intelligent women, no doubt. But how a Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself, I'm like, is that gonna help your district Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? I'm just gonna go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work. Work is saying that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in a position to stop him since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituency. She's supposed to be there to represent the people of Texas.
Well, those were his original comments, right? So since those comments, a ton of people have spoken out against what he's saying and defending Jasmine Crockett. I saw Willie D speak out, Steven Jackson, Tamika Mallory is calling for people to turn Stephen A. Smith off and treat him and his show like the NFL. And Bakari
What you
Sellers.
mean treat him in the show like the NFL?
Like not watch
Everybody
it.
watches the NFL.
She's saying she wants people to treat it like the NFL, or like we did at one point with the NFL when we talked about not watching it.
Yeah, that never happened.
And then
No, I love Tamika. That's my sister, but that never happened.
Also, as well, and Stephen A. Smith mentions this in his new response that we'll play. He has an issue with Bakari Sellers and something Bakari Sellers said about his original comments on the Native Land podcast. Let's take a listen to Bakari Sellers defending Jasmine Crockett.
There is a through line between the Ice Cubes and the Jason Whitlocks and the Stephen A. Smiths. These individuals have been around since we have been on this freedom struggle. There have always been individuals out there which exhibit behaviors of charlatans who utilize, some people are in it for the change and some people are in it for the change, right? And I think that that's indicative. And they find the easiest path to the front of the line. And Stephen A. Smith is someone who doesn't have the depth to talk about House oversight or the appropriations process, right? And how you're able to bring resources back to your community or what Jasmine is doing. So he rather lampoon her.
So Stephen A. Smith has been seeing all of this outrage, and he says, normally he does his show at a certain time every week, but he decided to do an emergency episode to get back with the people who have something to say. So he went on his show, straight
emergency episode,
Straight Shooter with Stephen A. Smith, and
What was this last night? I must have missed this.
Last night, yes, that's what I was listening to.
I thought he was on vacation. Wasn't he on vacation or something like that?
And he said he came back because he's been seeing all this conversation, some from people he thought were his friends, and he has some things that he needed to say. So let's take a listen to number 4.
Wow, Willie D. You sure are uplifting. I mean, I got to be touched. That was inspiration. Really, that really, really was. That was inspirational. I'm doing sucker shit. That's what you call inspirational? That's what you call uplifting? Really? Now, I haven't heard everything that Roland Martin said, D.L. Hughley had to say. None but respect. First of all, I'm going to be very, very careful about anything that I say about Roland Martin because he's a friend. I'm going to be careful about anything that I say about D.L. Hughley because I have respect for that man. We've spoken a few months ago. I got nothing but love for him. I am concerned about him not making people laugh and smile as much anymore as he used to because he's more of an activist now than a comedian, but that's a choice and that's his right.
Yeah, okay.
I gotta go listen to that. I didn't
so
hear that.
now there's more. I got some more for you. Now, he also says in this clip that his issue with Jasmine Crockett is that she speaks she's too street. Let's take a listen to Stephen A. on Jasmine speaking to the streets.
Crockett's performance in the House, according to research. What I was saying was this educated, brilliant black woman representing over 750,000 people is engaging in verbiage and rhetoric for the streets. And that's fine when you're in the streets. How many of y'all bring the streets to the table when you at the negotiating table trying to get a deal done? How many of you are able to think that for a second that you're able to bring street verbiage to Capitol Hill and that's going to work for you? You literally have senators and congressional figures on Capitol Hill on the side of the Republicans telling the networks, whether it's Fox News, News Nation, or anybody else, please, please, please put her front and center on camera. Why would they do that? Because they know it wins for them.
Yeah. So he has people are upset. I think with Jasmine Crockett, in my opinion, the reason why people put her front and center, focus and platform her is because she speaks in a way that It appeals to people who just aren't politicians. Like especially for me,
she's being real.
Yeah, I go to
That's
her
the way
Twitter
she
all the
is.
time to see how she feels about things and how she's expressing herself, because I learn what's happening. But then I like how she tells how she honestly feels about things.
Yeah, they can go ahead.
Okay.
So they can say whatever they want. Why she can't say what she want?
Yes,
Like,
and I would say, you said Stephen A. is in hot water. Stephen A. is not in hot water because this is exactly what he does. He says things and people respond to it. He is provocative. He gets the people going, right? It's all content. Everybody just making content, so it makes for good conversation. Now, as far as what he said about Jasmine Crockett, and me and Stephen A. spoke about this behind the scenes this week, but I don't think any elected official is above critique, but you got to criticize their policy. And it seems like Stephen A. is criticizing her style. And if you are criticizing her style and telling her she needs to change her style to be able to get things done, but also telling her to do that, to get things done with one of the most uncouth political figures ever in Donald Trump, then I got to say that, you bugging. All right. Trump talks crazy. So you can't call out Jasmine for allegedly talking crazy, his words, but not Trump. And I also believe that, Tamika Mallory and Bakari Sellers, they need to have a conversation with Stephen A. They should go on Stephen A's show and explain to him why playing nice with Trump doesn't work. And I have no problem with Jasmine Crockett and her opposition or her resistance to Trump. I have no problem with her calling out Trump and challenging the president of the United States of America. Yeah, I have no problem with that.
I agree with you. The problem I do have is, and you could critique anybody you want, but when you're talking about policy, it should be somebody from her district that has that problem. Somebody that is affected by the things that she's doing. And if her district doesn't have a problem with it and her district loves it, that means she's doing the job that they voted for her to do. Yeah. So it should not be an issue or a problem. The other thing that I do hate, and I hate it, and you might not like what Stephen A. Smith says. You might think he's a clown. I've been seeing the chat, and you might disagree with everything he says. But what I can't stand is when somebody wants to cancel somebody based off of their opinion. Yeah. You might not like their opinion, and their opinion might not suit you, but you can have the right to turn off that TV, to turn off that radio and say, he's not my cup of tea. Yeah. But I hate the fact when you say, well, I don't like what he has to say, we canceling him. I hate that.
Yeah, you sound like Trump talking about his opposition.
I hate that. Right. I just hate that.
And also, I want to add this. I love Jasmine Crockett because she's fearless. And I know Jasmine Crockett is about the people. She puts the people first every time. And the reason I know this is because the old guard in both parties don't like her. Republicans kick Jasmine Crockett back in publicly. Democrats kick her back in privately. And at least to me, that's how I know she's a real person. Yes, because because both sides be having issues with her. That's when you know a politician is putting the people over party or anything else. When both sides can't stand her.
And I hate she talks street. She's a highly intellectual woman that speaks
How
the
does
way
Trump
that she
talk
speaks.
I will say
there is no talking street. She speaks the way that she speaks, and I don't have a problem with it.
I do want to give
H-Town and Jasmine
I do want to say this though,
Crockett.
to that envy. Stephen A. Smith did take some time to lay out her resume. He does call her educated, and he does all the things, but he doesn't agree with how she talks at the same time. So I do want to say he did say that.
But if you don't agree with Jasmine Crockett, and you're telling Jasmine Crockett she needs to talk a certain way to be able to work with Trump, who talk crazier than Donald Trump? Like that don't make that Stephen A. don't make no logical sense.
And he be two-time, and he be whatever Donald Trump say, he says it twice. I don't know.
It don't even make no logical sense. But once again, I like Jasmine because she's fearless, and I say it a million times. The reason I know she's a real person who puts the people over any party or any politics is because both parties kick her back in. Republicans do it publicly. There's a lot of Democrats who do it privately. And Jasmine Crockett may not be able to say that, but I can.
That's the crazy thing. I didn't even know that until you just said it.
All right. Well, that is the latest with Loren. All right.
But why do they kick her back in? Democrats.
I think because she's effective. And I think that they want, they want people to move a certain way and speak a certain way.
She's unapologetic and she does what she does.
A certain way, and she's not doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Simple as that.
All right. Now, when we come back, we got the mix. Today is Usher's birthday. Yes. So let me know your favorite Usher record.
And it's Stephen A. Smith's birthday too. Happy birthday.
It is real.
Yeah, it is really. Stephen A. Smith's birthday too.
He had to come off his birthday trip
and talk about vacation. That's right.
You know, I'm mad at him. Get your content and do what you're going to do. He knows exactly what to do.
It's the Breakfast Club. Hey, and on chat, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Salute to everybody on the Breakfast Club AM Twitch chat. We'll see y'all tomorrow, all right? It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Hold up. Every day I wake up, wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?